Hello, what is up? It's Kayla G with another big sister sesh. In case you didn't know, the podcast where I therapize myself on national television. Today I've got a handful of things I want to touch on today. So the very first thing that I want to touch on is that I am I don't fucking know. The first thing I want to touch on is that I'm actually done healing. Like I've decided to stop doing that and I've decided to be feral again. Um the reason being is that I realized that I am almost middle age. And what I mean by that is that we've been lied to for a long time that middle age is 50. Who's the last person you know that lived to 100? Because all my grandparents died before they were even 90. My oldest grandparent lived until they were 86, I believe. And so if we take that high number, I'm pretty sure the average was like 86 or 82, but the median is 36. So what's 36 times 2? 80 83? I can't do math, but basically 36 is actually middle age. Sit with that for a second. 36 is middle age? Oh. Oh. So I have like less than 10 years to frickin' haul ass to make sure I can live like a decent life for 30 something years because middle age is actually 36. And I feel like we as a collective, a lot of people know that like retiring at 60 is such bullshit to have, a couple, like if you're lucky, 2 or 3 decades to really enjoy your life. But like what the fuck is that? Like you get to enjoy your life at the time when you're the least of I mean, I don't want to say least able to enjoy your life, but like you're more prone to sickness and illness and people around you are dying. Don't you want to enjoy it while you're young and able-bodied and this and that and that and the other thing? And again, I have a crisis of being like, grind hard, work hard, save your money, blah, 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 blah. But then I'm on the flip side of live your life now. Like tomorrow isn't promised. You might have cancer when you're 60 and all your money is saved and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, oh, existence is pain. And yeah. So I've been thinking about that a lot lately and like what it's all for. You know, you know, the things I wrote. Like, so I wrote that as a podcast note and then I was like, oh my God, mental breakdown in the middle of the night. And I wrote, in case you forget, this is the youngest and hottest you will ever be. Say yes. Do it. Become the best. Do all the things. Sleep when you're dead, bitch. 36 is middle age. 36 is middle age. 36 is middle age. Why are you scrolling? Do something with your life. Sign up for guitar class or piano. Sing in front of people. Podcast harder. Pay someone to manage. Buy the ticket. Call your friends. Spend your money. I know that note was written at like 3 a.m. And I stand on that. I stand on everything I wrote there. 36 is middle age. Ah. So then if you work till you're 65, when that's retirement age, right? 65, so you maybe have 20 years to enjoy all your money? The fuck? No. Oh my god, I'm going to cry. No crying. Not today. But I think this will just be my little sign to you babies to like I flip and I flop between the two things that I just said of like, fuck it, live now versus no, like, save your money, do these things. And I think it is really, truly, unfortunately, all about balance. And that's something that's been coming up in a couple areas of my life because I do this thing where I for some reason that I think that I can't work hard and also maintain relationships, or like I need to cut them down. And so, for example, I'm starting a new job and I have 3 weeks in between when my old job stopped and this job starts. And so I'm taking, and before that, I was like grinding really hard, like not taking care of myself, doom scrolling, binge eating, like doing all the things that I hate that I do and working really hard because I had like no joy and satisfaction in my life. Uh, so like was neglecting all these areas of my life, and then now that I have these 3 weeks to myself to like do whatever I want, I'm like seeing people all the time. Oh my god, call every single person I know, make a lunch for every single day, blah 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 blah. Like doing all the things, and connection feels so good. So then so then I'm starting this next job. Previously I was thinking to myself that I should, as I do with any time there's something big and new coming up in my life, I need to buckle down, like can't hang out with people, work, eat, sleep, gym, repeat, like that's it. And that's always what I do. And that always bites me in the ass because, and it's because I want to be the best. And I think it'll be a distraction and I won't wake up and I'll be tired and blah, 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 blah. And like if tired's the worst thing you can be, like you can get through that. But anyway, so like I always stop hanging out with people and I buckle down and I take care of myself for a little bit, but then because I'm lacking connection and lacking like people in my life in a real way other than work, I start looking for dopamine and serotonin in all the wrong places, like doom scrolling. Like my average scroll time or phone time 2 weeks ago was like 8 plus hours because I was miserable where I was, and like I was working so hard, and on top of that applying to jobs, which is a whole job in itself, doing all the interviews and everything like that, and like I wasn't taking care of myself. And then after all that, do I want to work out? No. No, I don't want to do the dopamine the hard way. I want to do the quick and easy way. So I scroll. And I was getting so pissed off at myself, like, why? And it's because I need to set those boundaries with work. I think that's the next place I need to look at boundaries because I think it's the one place I don't have boundaries is work. I've made them in my personal life, but work is something where I just want to be the best and I want like the validation and the praise. And that's not good because I bore myself out. And then a job that I might not even really hate, but I hate because I'm not setting the boundary kind of thing. Does that make sense? So, and that's I've also done this. I don't really know what this, whatever. I'm just talking. How about that? And so, what was I just saying? Yeah. So I need to find like this in between, and I feel like a lot of people struggle with this. Like they're one or the other, or like some people don't, but I feel like I know my sister struggles with that too. Of like during the week I'm this way, and then on the weekends like she parties real hard. And I feel like if there was like an in between for her, that might be more effective because then she has the Sunday scaries all the time. And like for me, I just isolate, 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 and then I'm lonely, 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 and then I like eat a bunch of shit or like doom scroll, like I keep saying. Um and I used to oh, so now I know where I was going with this. Is I used to think alone was the only way I could do things because wow, I'm realizing so many things. So when I was in my last relationship, like I felt like I couldn't get anything done because I was constantly taking care of this person. I I know I've said this before, but I was a fucking maid. I was the cook. I was his best friend, his therapist, his mother, and his girlfriend all in one, and a bunch of other things too. And I was just like I had no time to do any of my shit because I was taking care of a small boy tiny. And in my head, and that was 3 years. So I trained myself or just subconsciously learned that like I only get things done when I'm alone. And so once we broke up and I moved away and I've had my own space for almost 2 years now, I'm now at the point where I'm like, oh, like I needed that alone time. I needed that and I needed to like be okay by myself because I hadn't been for a while. But now I'm realizing like the last 6 or so months of me being in this vicious cycle of like be alone, be alone, be alone, doom scroll, doom scroll, doom scroll, hang out with a bunch of people, don't do any of the stuff that I need to do because I'm trying to fill that void that I haven't had for the last couple weeks. And then I go back to isolating myself, and then I doom scroll, doom scroll, doom scroll. Oh, I need real connection. The cycle repeats itself. And I'm realizing now that like I used to associate loneliness, like not lonely, but isolating myself with productivity. But now I'm realizing that it's not long-term productivity. So like even if I get a bunch of shit done in 2 weeks, the next week I'm going to scroll, scroll, scroll. And then the following week after that, I'm going to look for connection in all these other places and then actually not do any of my things. So, what I'm trying to say is finding that balance in my life of like seeing people during the week, even if you might not get as much work done, you're not going to burn out as fast because you have those people in your life that you're seeing all the time. And for someone who preaches connection and community all the time, I'm really having to eat my own words right now, aren't I? um, so yeah, I guess I just therapized myself again for you guys. But I wonder if like any of you feel that way. I'm sure someone does. Like, I don't know. I just used to be like, I love being alone. I love being alone. And I'm realizing I really don't love being alone anymore. And especially as I've started to look for love and like I don't know, like I'm just realizing, oh, I don't want to be alone forever. I used to be like I'd be fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Like I don't want anyone in my space, but now like I've been with my parents this week and just like having someone else in the room with you is so comforting. And I truly haven't recognized that as like me needing just like another human to like cohabitate with is so we're meant to do that. We're meant to cohabitate. Like we're meant to live in communities. And I've made a great community for myself, but it's like I build the community and then I push them away because I'm like I need to do my thing. Like I'll get to you when I get to you. And like thank you friends for sticking around because I know I've done that like to a couple of y'all a lot. And yeah, wow, I'm just really like having a lot of thoughts right now. I'm excited for this new chapter and I feel like I'm going to break the cycle now of like isolating. That's so interesting. Wow. So 36 is middle age, live your life and like find a balance. I don't know if any of you struggle with like I don't know if you struggle with it like that. Like does anybody else feel the way that I feel? I'm sure other people do, but anyway. I also have a new list of hot or nots, and I'd just like to touch base on these really quickly because it's they've been coming up more and more, and I feel so compelled. The first thing is a list of things that I find absolutely not it. And this is not the it's in no particular order, but I'm actually going to go out of order here. And the very first thing that I'd like to start with is peplum. Peplum is so fucking not it. Like peplum anything. I don't want to see peplum. Peplum reminds me of I don't even know, grandmother. I don't like it. Don't wear peplum unless you're a grandmother. Who designed peplum? I never fucked with peplum. Bye peplum. Peplum. Peplum is even an ugly word. It reminds me of pimple. Pimply peplum. Sebum. Hate. The next thing is frappuccinos. What the fuck are you doing? First of all, they don't even taste good. They don't even taste good. They taste like ice and cream and like some obscure flavor. Frappuccinos are ass and you look like a child drinking one. Don't if you're going to Starbucks for a frappuccino, like reconsider. And on that same vein, Dunkin' Donuts. I used to drink Dunkin' Donuts, so I am a bit of a hypocrite, but as I've grown into an adult, I realize Dunkin' Donuts is fucking ass. And that's for people who just want volume and sugar. Like, if you just want to suck down 60 ounces of sugary caffeine, dilute, like not even good coffee, hit up Dunkin'. But if you have taste buds, go literally anywhere else. I'm pretty sure a gas station will have better coffee than Dunkin' Donuts. Mm, Another thing that I think is absolutely not it, and like people love this. My one best friend, Julia Capiello, you always love hummus. Hummus is just not that good. Like, hummus can be good if it's homemade and like blah 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 and has some flavor to it, but like if you go to a restaurant and just order like plain hummus with some fucking crudité as an appetizer, which she has done to me, and I'm like, who the fuck goes out to lunch or dinner for hummus, like plain hummus? Grow up. It's just chickpeas. You can make that yourself. Get something cool and unique. Fuck hummus. Sabre. um another thing, sequins. Don't wear sequins. Like no one, literally nobody pulls off sequins. I've never seen, especially if you're over 12. Like don't wear sequins. Don't wear sequins. Sequins? Don't wear sequins. Especially like those fully sequin dresses or tops. Don't wear sequins. There are maybe 3 people in the world that can pull it off. I don't even know who they are. Probably like Hailey Bieber. Um, and like some other fucking girl like her. But don't wear sequins. They're weird. They're tacky. Like me, the fashion expert, in my super cheap shirt and workout shorts. Hey, don't wear sequins, baby girl. Um, People who face tune super heavy or like have really heavy effects on their photos. Hey, what the fuck? What are we doing that for? Everyone knows it. Hey, everyone knows what you're doing. Like I feel like that's so silly, especially like like you will be perceived outside of this. Like you will like people will see you in real life. Like did you think did you think what how long do you think you could get away with that? I don't really know, but I think face tuning is super fucking weird and makes you seem out of touch. Like and face okay, so let me clarify too because face tuning is in like changing your fucking face. Like changing your face. I have used Facetune to and most recently blur a very bad sunburn that I had. That's something a little bit different. Maybe that's hypocritical. But if you're like changing like if you're like my arm skinnier, my waist skinnier, like my face more cut, I don't really know what you can do on there because I have the oldest version and I literally just used it. I just used it for the first time very, very recently. Not for the first time, but for the first time in a long time recently to blur a tan line. I'm not gonna change the shape of my body or my face or what have you. Like that's so fucking stupid. Stop doing that. Oh, and the last thing, which is kind of in tandem with that, is only posting photos of yourself. I just feel like that's so like that kind of speaks to like what you're about, and that's like you're all about yourself and like cool, but also not really. Like that's kind of lame and stupid. But I'm just really judgy apparently, so. But I also just say the things that everyone's thinking, I think. Or maybe I don't and I'm just a judgy bitch. Anyway, I think today has been like a lot of life lessons and it's been a little random. It's been all over the place. And like this is just how I'm feeling. I'm having an existential crisis, leave me alone. And to dull it out, I focused on things that I don't like in other people. And in summation, like fuck plain hummus. I think that's pretty much the main takeaway from today. And also, 36 is middle age. Go do something fun. Life is not all about work, but life is also not only about fun. So, like, find the happy middle ground. Buy the plane ticket, buy the concert ticker, see the person, like, say yes more. That's something that I'm going to focus on doing, especially is just saying yes to more things. Like, even if it's like, especially if it's something I normally wouldn't say yes to, because that's how you meet new people and have new experiences and like change your life a little bit. So that's all. I can't stop doing this. I do it to people on my walks. I'm like, hey, what? Don't do that. Anyway, have a most beautiful day. Peace and blessings. Also, don't drink frappuccinos. Okay, bye.